social worker's here. Oh, shit.
What's the use of a voucher and I can't do anything with it?
I actually lived up under the bridge in the West End area.
Welfare people gonna find out, then you gonna be the man. The welfare man.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he did not exist. Section 8 would be the band-aid on the bullet wound and the veneer on the decaying tooth of society in the black community. Y'all stay tuned.
Get to the chopper!
Keeping your head above water, making a wave when you can.
Salute! And welcome back to Unknown Soldier Radio. And I'm Dog Tags. Yeah. The welfare program in the United States was supposed to serve as a band-aid on a cut stemming from the Great Depression and the War on Poverty, not as a band-aid on the bullet wounds of the black Communitah. See, the New Deal would be a bad deal from the programs developed from the umbrella of the government, because welfare discourages work, discourages families, but encourages dependence on the government. See, when Lyndon B. Johnson launched his ideology and initiated the welfare program to combat poverty in the 1960s, his idea or his goal was to eliminate poverty in America, but all he did in this attempt was isolate it. And this economic isolation would eventually turn into a Trojan horse of systemic and perpetual devastation and degradation, as this horse would erode at the moral fibers of the black family and destroy our future generations. Section 8 doesn't have just one rabbit hole. There are several rabbit holes. And one of the rabbit holes we can go down is the tax rabbit hole. Because as a man who pays taxes, I would be considered the breadwinner of a household. But if I'm with a woman whose income has been subsidized by Big Daddy government, then I will allow her to file head of household.
And there's George hiding in Big Daddy's pocket. And what are you doing? You're gonna reward George and destroy Charlie.
But on the flip side, it discourages women from marrying the fathers of their children because it reduces their benefits.
You can't make this shit up.
The social worker's here. Oh, Honey, get rid of the TV and hide.
Honey, get rid of the TV and hide.
Another rabbit hole that will lead to the dismantling of the black family, Communitah, and culture would be the FHA, or better known as the Federal Housing Administration, established in 1934 underneath the guise of Franklin D. Roosevelt. And this would open up the door to the wealth gap between black families and white families, known as redlining. And redlining is the geographic separation between urban and rural neighborhoods, as described in the book The Color of Law, written by Richard Rothstein, where blacks were discriminated against by the housing authority and denied loans which were given to white families for the rebuilding of white suburbia, while black urban neighborhoods deteriorated.
You can't make this shit up.
The system's one big screw. Well, I'm glad to hear you say it, because no one... So you're the gentleman that's been keeping company here.
No, ma'am, I'm just a garbage man.
Well, may I have your name, please?
Simpson.
First name?
That's my first name.
Oh, your surname?
X.
Simpson X what?
Simpson X, that's it. You've heard of Malcolm X, I'm Simpson X. Hey, see, listen, I want to ask you something. You're supposed to give aid to dependent children, right? Why don't you just go ahead and give aid to the dependent children instead of worrying about who the mother's keeping company with?
Oh, let me straighten you out on something, Mr. X. There was a time we'd ask to use a bathroom to see if there was a razor in the cabinet. We don't do that anymore, but we do have to know what's going on. But you live here or elsewhere. Is that a gift you're giving to the family? Do you contribute to the support of this whole family?
Whoa, lady. You gonna tell us you can have this set? It didn't cost you in the city a damn dime, but you gonna tell us you can have it, right?
Oh, I didn't make the rules, sir. I'm only doing my job.
The welfare ain't doing nothing to me, lady.
But the welfare is supporting Mrs. Price.
Supporting shit. He gave me this. He gave me this. Yes, he gave it to me. And he gave me this. Now we have to hide this shit. You believe? Yes, he gave me this. We have to hide this.
He gave us this too, but it don't work.
That's right. And I have to hide my man in the toilet. Miss Quebec, do you hide your man in the toilet?
Mrs. Price, we want to help, believe me. We know that children need a man in the house, a woman needs a man in the house. We don't insist people be married.
You mean you'd help a man move in who's not married to the mother?
That's right.
That's immoral.
We're trying to deal with the realities.
What kind of example is that to set for the children?
Oh, what kind of example are you setting right now?
I ain't the government.
We'd love to see you get married.
Yeah, I'm hip you would. It would take the government off the hook and put me on. Don't ask me any more questions.
I've been, I've seen the desperation in a lot of people's faces when they can't find a place.
Moved by her experience, she is working with other students to figure out why landlords are locking out tenants on Section 8.
We just want to know, did you not get paid on time?
What would you say is at stake if we don't figure this out?
We're going to see a huge increase in homelessness, women, children, the elderly, our most vulnerable, our most vulnerable populations will be suffering.
Ruth still goes out to the bridge where she once lived, but now it's to pass out food and offer hope.
Because when you are on the street, I believe that we get comfortable. It becomes home, and you forget about the relaxation that you maybe could have, like sleeping in a regular bed.
If we lucky, we got 'em. Good time.
Salute! From Dog Tags.
Soldier, gonna be a soldier.